Hello and happy Sunday. The weather is amazing in Chicago. I don't know where you are, but it is fantastic here. I'm in my Hawaiian shirt, ready to take on the day. It is awesome. Today I'm so excited about the conversation that I'm going to be having with Emily. And when she just joined, so Emily, if you just want to request to join, there's a little camera. Yeah, there you go. You got it, girl. So then I'll go. Emily is a business developer and she's also an exercise physiologist. Like, those are two awesome things together. There we go. Hey, Emily.
Hey,
How are you?
good. How are you?
Good, thanks. Woo, Chompy's getting excited as well that you're here. um, so Emily, so just to give a recap, interviews are talking about how creativity is used in all these different industries, and I think that your industry is just so cool because it's out of my realm. And we've talked a lot about what you do just personally, and I want to know more about it and about your creativity in it. So
Yes,
for joining today, how are you?
I'm doing well. It's a beautiful day today.
It is. It is. I love it. Um,
So,
Amazing. Well, Emily, why don't you start by telling us a little about yourself, and we'll begin there. What that you do?
yeah, absolutely. So, thank you for having me this morning. When you first asked me to be part of this creativeness, I was like, well, I'm not very creative, so we'll see how this goes. But as I got into it a little bit more and was going through some of the questions you sent me, I was like, this does make a lot of sense and it fits. So, I am by trade and I am an exercise physiologist. But now I am a clinical business developer. So I've had to shift my world a little bit in the last few months to do what I'm doing now. But I think that creativity can be in all aspects of what I'm doing. Um, and so I got into the exercise physiology world kind of by a step over from what I was doing in undergrad. I was going for pre-physical therapy, and then my my mentor was like, I'm just going to bring you over into the research side and see um, if you like research. And I said, sure. So I dabbled in how exercise affects individuals with fibromyalgia. And that's really where I developed the love for and the understanding and appreciation of exercise physiology
Mhm.
and knowing that it's an art in and of itself. So most people
I,
think as exercise physiologists, oh, sorry, did
I
you
love
say
to say that it's an art in itself. It's so true.
and it really is. And people think of us as, more as like glorified personal trainers,
Mm.
which yes, you can go that route, absolutely. But when you really dive into the science and the understanding of what my field can do and what we do actually understand about the body, it is a very fine-tuned art. We have to understand all the moving pieces down to a microbiology level, in a sense, on how is this exercise affecting this person particularly. And they could be a healthy individual, or they could be somebody that has chronic heart failure, pulmonary,
Wow.
they have diabetes. So just knowing all the intricate pieces and parts, I fell in love with that because I'm also a very type A individual in the sense that I love systems and
Okay.
I love how well pieces fit together.
Hmm.
Um, and I kind of do that in my everyday life.
You,
Everything has a place, everything has a system,
I love it.
and so that's kind of where I guess I would say my creativity comes about. Would
Okay.
be
Wait, so then how would you define creativity?
So my definition of creativity would be those who innovate, you are imaginative, you create, but it's not just pertaining to the art world as most of us probably think of when we think of the word creativity. It what make to me it's what makes you unique and what brings you to be able to offer something to others.
Hmm.
Um, it doesn't have to be that you're an artist, because by no means am I an artist. My
I love
sisters, my sisters got that.
I love it. Yeah, I can't even draw a stick figure.
Yeah.
So
when I was in sixth grade, we had to try out for either band or chorus, and I really thought I wanted to do wind instruments. And I tried the flute, and the band teacher goes, "Yeah, I think you should just try another avenue. The
Oh,
band is not for you."
oh my, that's
So I
fun.
kind of got the same thing when I tried like ceramics in art class, and
Oh
yeah,
my,
the art teacher was just like, "This is not maybe for you."
that's the thing as well, because like, who are they to judge you on your art?
Yeah.
Like,
And that was just so interesting. And looking back as an adult, to tell a sixth grader or seventh grade at that time that this isn't for you, well,
oh,
that
that
kind of just crushed me completely. And looking back, I really haven't dabbled in much art or music. I used to play the piano when I was little, and I haven't touched an instrument in years because of those types of setbacks.
right.
And I wish that somebody would have just been like, hey, okay, maybe not your thing, but let's try other avenues, and or let's try it again.
Instead of like putting you down, like, hey, here's a suggestion, here's this, here's a resource, something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. So, but now as I've grown up and I'm seeing my nieces and my nephew kind of like all grow up, I want them to be able to feel like they can express themselves. And I feel like that is, again, what makes us all creative. It's whatever we have to offer to others or even to ourselves to bring joy and happiness to the world.
I love it. I want to like print that out and put it on the wall. That's perfect. I love it so much. Amazing, Emily. Awesome. So, like, aside from your career, and you said that you used to do like music and art. Do you have any other like creative outlets?
So I love plants.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a whole lot of plants right now because where we live in a garden unit, we have like no sunshine. I
No.
have three plants right next to me right now, and I'm so happy that they're here, but they're like no color. But growing up, I was a farmer, and so being around that and growing up, always making sure something was being taken care of,
Mm-hmm.
really sticks with me still too. Probably why I'm in the trade I'm in as well, because I still take care of people. Um, but I love to grow things. I love to actually make things. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, you don't get to have those many outlets right now, but the world is slowly opening up. But just being part of nature and going out and like experiencing life, and other pieces of that the world can offer. So like the trees and the wind and the sun, and just remembering our roots and pun intended on where we come from, and just being part of that is really how I feel like we can also express ourselves and remember, okay, I can let go of all the drama and the chaos, and I can take this in and learn something from it.
Yeah, and that's another amazing aspect that you're touching on as well, is that creativity is healing. Like the
Yeah.
fact that you are planting and taking care of things and watching them grow and being part of that is a healing experience.
Yeah, for sure. And I think and we forget that so often. We think that with being creative, you have to, obviously, with the root of it being create, you have to create something, you have to do
Right.
something. And sometimes it's just taking that mental step back and saying, what do I need to learn either about myself or the surroundings I'm in right now so
Yeah,
I can just put it forward.
exactly. It's all about like shifting your mindset to expansion, I think. Like that's
Yeah.
fantastic. Well, such a cool transition that you've had in life from farmer to now this professional clinic business developer. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Uh,
And that's been a shift here in the last few months as it of itself. So
yeah,
you
but
just
it's working.
yeah, you just never know where life's going to take you, and you kind of just have to embrace it. And I've learned since I was young, if there's an issue or a problem, figure out how to solve it
Mm,
and be creative in a sense, but also imaginative around it. So if you're stuck in the mud in the middle of the field, how are you going to get yourself out? Well,
mhm.
that's how you can carry that over into life. You're stuck in the middle of nowhere or you're stuck in life. What are you
Yeah,
going to do to get out of it? And how are you going to make it the best possible aspect for yourself.
That's awesome. And I feel like it's such a great analogy that you can use in any element and aspect of your life. So maybe we should have all started off as farmers and we
I don't know if it's for everybody.
yeah. I love it. Amazing. So how would you then suggest for people to begin like embracing their own creative expressions?
Yeah, I would say that I definitely struggled with this, especially in my younger ages. Growing up in a smaller town, I had this kind of bubble view of who I was supposed to be and who the world was and what I was supposed to accept. And when I moved away from that, I was able to actually become who I wanted to be. And I think so many people have this view on what they think others think that they should be or what they should do. And so my only thing I can tell people is just be yourself. Find something that brings you joy. And if it's not the version you are right now, let's change it, because you have to live with yourself for your whole life. And if you're not doing what you want to do or be creative in your own realm, say you're like me and you need to have a rainbow organized closet, do it. Do it.
I love
That is being creative, and that's being authentic to who I am and not what other people think.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's fantastic. Great place to begin because you don't need anything else to start. You just need you. You
Yeah.
just need is in your and what you want out of life to be.
Right.
So that's
And
amazing.
yeah, I'd say the biggest thing is live by yourself so you can learn who you are if you have that opportunity to do it. You will become your best friend, your enemy, and know all the ins and outs of what you truly need as an individual and what you want.
Yeah, amazing. I think that's a fantastic idea as well. Everybody needs to spend some time with themselves, which is such a hard thing to do nowadays. You have to like schedule it. You have to
Yes.
make time, make the effort to be alone with yourself.
Yeah.
Which I think is scary for a lot of people, but that is where, like you said, like I think your creativity can flourish and blossom. So because you like learn more about yourself. So I think that's amazing. This is a fantastic conversation. I'm so excited about
Thank
things.
you. I was so nervous because like I am very type A. I don't have a whole lot of like flourish and I don't have artistic abilities, but I'll do what I can.
But you're creative still, you know? Like everybody can be creative. I think that this ultimately where we're getting at with this. It's so awesome. And so I don't know how often you probably worked. I mean, you've always had teams that you worked with and whatnot, but how do you think that like collaboration influences your creativity?
So that's a big one. So in my previous roles, I was kind of like the lead and didn't have the opportunity to have a ton of like team collaboration because I was the one leading, which I loved hearing the feedback from my team. But in the capacity that I was in, it just didn't work. But now in my new role, I am constantly collaborating because I work now in a startup realm and we are growing exponentially. And my job, even though as business developer, is really not just that. I'm wearing multiple different hats. I'm working with our software people. I'm working with our clinical research coordinators. I'm working with our project managers. So really looking at their viewpoints and what they need really opens your eyes to the big picture. It's not just about me and what I think should be done. It has to be about what we need as a team and as a group. And so it's very influential, even in life. If you just have that me, myself, and I viewpoint, it's going to be challenging because you have to be able to watch and learn from others and have those interactions, but also then to learn from their life because you didn't walk their shoes. So what can you take from their journey that you can apply then to your own?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that it's probably one of the least used resources of people around us and their experiences.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that that's fantastic that you're going into this like newer experience where you've been for a few months with that open mindset because there is so much to learn from different walks of life.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. And I'm glad that you're allowing it to expand your creativity and just keep going with it. That's awesome. And it must be so fun to be in like a startup environment as well, something completely different. So,
It
um,
it sure is.
good. Amazing. Well, I'm so happy for you. So let's just like for the last question, touch upon what is one of your most like memorable moments throughout
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, I had two, I think. So I kind of touched base a little bit on the first one, and that was when my mentor in undergrad kind of pulled me along the research side, and that's when I fell in love with the exercise physiology side. But truthfully, it was when I was little. I think it was fourth grade. We, in English class, we had to recite the poem, "Oh Captain, My Captain."
Mm.
I, shockingly, was so shy and so scared of even making a peep in front of people.
Mm.
So that when I had to go up in front of the classroom and start saying, "Oh, Captain, my Captain," I got that far and I cried and I passed out and I panicked.
Oh.
And that sticks with me still to this day because it wasn't until I was in college and I was kind of thrown into the fire as being a head of football operations. I had 100 and some recruits that showed up for a game. The head coach wasn't available to talk, and I was like, shoot, someone has to talk to all of these recruits. And so I remembered that moment when I was so scared and I passed out in fourth grade. And I was like, I can't do that right now. I have to like buckle down and actually talk and be the voice to all of these people. And from there, I think my extroverted side just kind of became alive because I had to do it. I was in a very,
Mhm.
very, very stressful situation, but it had to be done. And since then, I'm very thankful for that, those two moments, because now if you met me, you would never know that I was shy and
No.
an introvert. So those two moments kind of made me the extrovert and the people person that I am, which is very exciting.
That's amazing. Yeah, you would have no idea that you were introverted. But
Yeah.
I was quiet and shy and introverted as well, which I mean, like I've been referred to as a cartoon character by friends. So believe me if I said that I was like I used to be really shy. But I love that you're like noticing that it was kind of like a decision. It was like, hey, like this, like I'm gonna step into this and I'm gonna be who I am, and you rocked it, and here you are today. Like, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have stayed the introvert that I was. I probably would be behind a desk and just like doing my day-to-day stuff. And I know now that that was not who I was. I think that might have been a little bit of like being one of four daughters and having two sisters ahead of me, and I kind of just always followed in their footsteps. And I
Mm-hmm.
never able was able to create and be my own person. And then
Mm-hmm.
finally, when I left home, I was able to understand and embrace the world in my own views.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. And I'm so happy for you. And I'm so glad that I know you and that we had this conversation.
Well,
Is there
thank you, thank you.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you'd like to end with about creativity? Otherwise, I'm going to go to the farmer's market if you want to meet me.
There's a very big line.
Oh, there? Okay. Maybe I'll
Yeah,
go then. But
I would say wait until around like two. That's when it dies down a little bit.
uh,
But I would just say if for those of you who are watching and you're unsure of like what your creativity is or how to embrace your own version of creativity, find one thing, one small thing, and start there, and just keep building on it and let it embrace you and see where your life will go from that small, just little change or habit that you picked up.
Amazing. That is such a great place to begin. One small thing, one small, like, little actionable, mindful thing that you can point out and just build from. It's
Yeah.
like a snow, once you start doing it, you can't stop. So,
Well,
amazing.
thank you so much, Rose. I really, really appreciate this opportunity. And it was so much fun to kind of explore this side of myself again and
Oh,
remind
good.
myself of where I am. So thank you for that.
I'm so glad that you joined me, and I'm sure I'll be seeing you soon. Thank you to everybody who's checked in as well. I see a couple of great people here. And yeah, thank you, Emily. We'll be chatting again soon.
Yeah,
So
sounds good.
have a great day.
Bye. You too.
Bye.